Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin in the macro as well as the micro time frames. So let's just discuss, let's just go ahead right into the video. Before that, if you haven't joined my Telegram, make sure you click on the description link or you can go into the bio section and you'll find the Telegram link there. Okay, so let's get right into the video. So first of all, we see into the weekly time frame that the Bitcoin price, the RSI in the Bitcoin price action, we can clearly see that there is one thing that is getting very interested. With every move up and with every local top, we are actually finding RSI to be going down, and we are forming lower highs in RSI. Like this one was around 87, this one was around 78, and this one is around like 69. Okay, so this is clear cut, definition of our RSI bearish divergence, whereas price is likely heading towards the upside. Meanwhile, the RSI is going towards downside, and this is one thing that makes me bearish in the Bitcoin price action over the macro term. And I'm talking about the weekly time frame, not the monthly time frame. So I expect some kind of weekly time frame, rejection or some kind of correction in the weekly time frame that leads us towards this oversold territory. Because why? The last time we did this kind of thing was around the bear market bottom, and this is why this bear market bottom thing is very important for me, because I'm always looking for RSI to form a bottom or to form a top to take advantage of the macro conditions or to trade there. Like, the correct form of trading is actually usually in the weekly time frame, and you'll find the best amount, the best bias formation happens in the weekly time frame. So don't ever ignore weekly time frame. So let's just go into the daily time frame. We see that the RSI was getting oversold here a little bit, and then it got a pump, a short squeeze was there, and this is very normal. Okay, so let's just see what we can expect in the Bitcoin price action for right now. So the first thing that I see, if we take Fibonacci from the lowest point of 74k towards the highest point of like 126k, we find certain things very interesting. The first thing that we find that is very interesting to me is the 0.618 as well as the 0.5 level. The 0.5 level was around 100.3k, and Bitcoin barely touched that level. It actually went till 101.7k on the Bitcoin Binance perpetual pair. But what is very interesting is that the RSI got reset in the 4-hour time frame as well as in the daily time frame, and that was one thing that made me sure that there could be some kind of upside coming. What I was actually waiting for is that some kind of upside would come, and then the market should reject itself and then go on continue dumping till the 0.5 level, either the 0.5 level, whereas if it reaches the 0.5 level, then I will form my bias, and then I will observe the price action, and whatever the price action gives me, I would form my bias according to that. So let's just see what I am actually implying here. What I'm implying here is that if this happens, let's just go here, the 0.618 level is what I am actually aiming for. This is around 94k at the time we are talking about it. So 94k and towards the 92.4k, and this area around here has a lot of liquidity. If you go towards the 2-week or the 1-week time frame, you'll see a lot of liquidations around that level. So in the 2-week it's also not visible. Let's just go into the 6-month time frame. If you go to the 6-month time frame, you'll see there's some kind of liquidity around here, $300 million, around 93k, 92k, and that is what coincides with my level of golden pocket as well. So what I expect is some kind of flash dump again, and that dump should take us toward $94,000 to $92,000, and that is why I'm warning you that there could be one more leg down towards this level. And what I'm expecting, one more thing, let's just go into the daily time frame, and one more thing that I'm looking at is that if we take Fibonacci from this point towards this point, we find these levels around here. The first level of rejection that I was aiming for was 113.9k, which I took a short, but my stop loss was hit. And then another short would actually be building around 116k to 117 to 118k level, and this level is very important, guys. Why? Because maybe we are front running that level. Maybe we get those levels around the New York Open right now. In the evening we could get those levels in the New York Open level on opening time or the session, I must say. and if we get some kind of pump into that level and then we go down, that would be one signal for me to go short on Bitcoin. And if we short Bitcoin, my stop loss would go around 120.9k. This would be a 3.5% stop loss, and my target would actually be bigger than the last drawdown. But let's just say if I play conservative, this would be my target again, 101.5k, and this would give us actually 3.66 is to 1 risk to reward ratio. Okay, so this is actually a 15,000 crash in Bitcoin if you actually manage to capture it. Okay, so this is one thing that I'm looking at. This is one trade. Let's just see another possible scenarios. If we break above this range over here like 118, then we could actually take a smaller time frame trade from here and put the stop loss as around like 114k, and then we can target the all-time high. Why I'm saying so? Because a break above the golden pocket is usually a very good sign for me to long the market. This is a sign of very good pump that could come into the market, and that is why I'm saying that if the market sustains itself above this 117.8k, then there could be a pump, and this would also be a good trade of around 8,000 movement in Bitcoin. This would just be 2:1 risk to reward, but that is what it is. Okay, so you can actually hold it and aim for a little bit higher ATH or something like that. Okay, so that is one thing that I'm looking at. And if we correctly have to wait, if I have to tell you where I am looking at if Bitcoin has to retrace in the macro time frame, my levels are very simple. The first level is 101 to 100k, and the second level is 94,000 to 92,000 level, and that is where I would if I was a spot BTC buyer, I would place my bets at those levels. Why? Because those would be the game changer for me. Those would be the scenario for me to be bullish or bearish in Bitcoin in the weekly time frame as well as in the daily time frame. Why? Because a break below 92k and a closing, if let's suppose if market goes there and it closes there below 92k, then that would mean the golden pocket is not working anymore. And similarly, I said that for the upside movement, if golden pocket is broken, then the uptrend is likely to continue. And the same way, if the golden pocket is broken towards the downside, I think the downside is likely to continue, and that would mean that we are entering into a bear market locally in the smaller time frame or in the weekly time frame perhaps. So that is one thing that we could look at. One more thing, let's just see one more thing that I'm looking at is very important, and it is very simple, guys. If you guys look at it, what I'm telling right now. Okay, so the thing is, this is the low. This is the low of 49k we put in around in 2024, and then this is the low we put around in 2025, in the April of 2025. So these lows, all the lows have been protected. Why these lows have been protected? Because we are in an uptrend. All the lows should be protected in uptrend for the market to continue higher. Why? Because if this price action, let's suppose if this price action goes down towards to break this level 24k, we are likely to head downwards. Why? Because that would signify that we are changing the trend, right? This is so easy to predict. If you are actually, so I'm so sorry for the ad, but let's just see, if we break this downtrend, if we are actually changing the trend, we should always be breaking the lower highs, and we should be breaking the lows. This is the low that was respected, this is the low that was respected, this is the low that is the current low that has been respected. So in the macro scheme of thing, if I have to become bullish or bearish in Bitcoin, what I would be thinking, one low is this one, like around in June 2025 you saw that Bitcoin price was around 98k to 102k. So that is why I'm saying that if we break this, then in a shorter time frame we would be in a bear market in the 4 hour or daily as well. But if we break this low golden pocket, then that would be very bearish, and we could be likely heading towards 74k, and that would decide if we are actually in a bull run or the bull run has ended. So a break below 74k would mean that we could test these lows like 48k, even 25k. So I don't know when we will come there, but this is my psychology, and this is very important to, as a trader, you have to think like this. There's nothing else you can do about this. Okay, so this is very important. All the things that I've said, like let me just explain you why I'm saying so, what I'm saying. Okay, so let's just explain. So this was a bullish structure, right? If we see that this was the latest low that was put in before another high was made at 65k, and this low was like 28k. We actually could not break this level when we came there, and this was actually bearish. Although this was bearish, but it did not manage to break this low, signifying that we are still in an uptrend. We could not break that. But what happened later, let me just explain. What happened later was this one. If we go towards this low over here, like $39,000, and when we broke this around in this candle, we actually signified that we are entering in a local bear market. And then this low also, if we see that after few weeks this low was also broken, that signified that at $29,000 you have to exit the market. And when you could enter the market again, you can enter the market whenever the trend changes. Where the trend was changed, you can clearly see this was a high. We see inverse price action. This was the latest high of $21,000, and when this $21,000 was broken and we sustained above $21,000 and we could not manage to break this to 19,000 21,000 level, that is where you should have become bullish again and you could have bought your Bitcoin again. So that is one thing that I look forward to whenever I am analyzing Bitcoin, or in the macro or in the micro scheme of things. So that was the daily time frame as well as in the weekly time frame analysis. I hope you guys get my point. I'm not very bearish guy, I'm not a very bullish guy. I'm just telling you the plan. The plan is simple. If we sweep into the 116 to 118k level whenever we get the FOMC news, and that would be a signal to go short. If we sweep and then go down, that is the signal to short, not just go. If it goes up, you don't have to short aimlessly there. You have to short whenever it comes down. Okay, so you have to short here at this level, not here. Okay, so that you don't want to be that guy who shorts every pump. Okay, so this is the plan, this is my analysis. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you join the Telegram channel. The link will be in the description of this video, and everything as well. Everything is free of cost.